Hi everyone, it's Kristen. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing a rebounding exercise on the Aero Reformer. Now in traditional Pilates we call this piece right here the jump board, so I'm going to be referring to it as the jump board rather than the rebounder because it goes just a little more along with Pilates. When I think of a rebounder, I think of those little round trampolines that you jump on. So the jump board. Really important things that we want to focus on here is keeping your abdominal connection the whole way through. So if you let your abdominals start to fall out, then your back is going to take most of the shock at the impact, and your back is going to start to hurt you after a while. And then if you have rounded shoulders at all, or you notice that your neck feels really tired or strained, if your headpiece is all the way flat, I recommend keeping the headpiece up for the duration of your jumping here. So I'm definitely going to have my headpiece up today because I have a little bit of rounded shoulders and a little bit of forward head posture. So if you know that kind of fits you too, then by all means keep your headpiece up. So the first thing that we're going to do here, I'm going to start on all my cords. Now on my reformer I have 2 red and a black cord, and you might have more than that. You might have 4 or 5 cords. So right now I have the 2 reds and a black cord on. So if you can match that, or if you have all black cords, you might want to do 4 black cords. So we're going to be warming up with a little bit of ankle articulation first. So go ahead and lie yourself down and then feel that your shoulders are nice and even against the shoulder blocks. And then just have your feet on about a good fist distance apart here between your big toe knuckles. Heels are lifted, and my toes are right at the very top of the netting of the jump board here. So I'm going to start by pulling in my lowest abdominals especially. I want to feel that my low back is nice and long here, and the weight's right in the center of my hips. My ribs are down. I'm trying to roll my shoulders open, and I'm looking just at the ceiling. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep my heels up and press out all the way to straight legs, and then lower heels down, and bend in only as far as you can keep your heels fully down into the netting. So you may not come all the way in. I actually did, but you may not. So you'll lift your heels up again and press out all the way to straight legs. Lower your heels down, bend your knees, come in, keep those heels right into the netting. Up, press out, lower the heels, come in, keep sinking into your heels. Keep checking in with your abdominals. Heels up, press out, heels down, come in. And we'll take 2 more like this. Okay, so now we're going to reverse it. So my heels are still down. So I'm going to press out all the way to straight legs, lift my heels up, bend my knees, come in. For me, I'm going to be able to come all the way in, but if you weren't able to come in the last time, you want to stop a little shy so that your heels can drop right back down. Press out, heels up, in, heels down. Press out, up, in, down. Let's do 4 more here. And check in, are you still pulling in your low abdominals? You're going to have to keep checking that and make sure you keep regenerating that connection. If you're wondering where your low abdominals are, they're right below your navel. And 1 more here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and sit up before we actually start the jumping. And I'm going to take off 1 red cord. So now I just have on a black cord and a red cord. If you have all black cords, you just want to take off 1 so that you have 3. So we're not going to do anything super fancy here today. We're just going to kind of do the basics. So I'm going to start with my feet all the way together here. So knees are pretty close. You don't have to let your knees touch because we want to make sure that your knees line up to the center of your feet. And if your knees are touching, they're actually not lined up. They're actually too far in. So then from here, I want to make sure that as I jump, that little ankle articulation that we just did will help us learn how to land and jump off of the board through our feet. So it is an articulation here. So I'm going to press out and my toes are going to be the last thing to leave the board. And as I come back in, I'm going to land toe ball heel. And I'll go a little bigger. I want to make sure that I get all the way to straight legs. Keep checking in with your low abdominals, pulling in light upper abdominals. Trying to make sure your heels get all the way down into the netting every time. I'm going to do about 5 more. Nice deep breath. Try to land in the same place every time. And then come all the way back in. So now I'm going to take my feet out to about hip distance apart, still parallel. So as I leave the board, my toes are going to be the last to leave. And then as I land, toe ball heel. So you want to articulate down, don't land with a flat foot. And do make sure you get your heels all the way down. So we're going to do about 20 jumps each here just to get warmed up. Try to make sure you don't feel your back is arching here. Okay, coming back in. So now I'm going to play with alternating together, apart, together, apart. So I'm going to start together, and we're going to press out, land apart, out, together. Halfway there. Last 2 each way. Feet together, come all the way back in. Okay, so now we're going to go into a Pilates V. So Pilates V is going to be a little bit harder to make sure that your heels get all the way down. So I feel I even have to press out a little already. So you want to also make sure that your knees don't go beyond the middle of your feet. So you want to feel like you hug them in a little bit. So feel my ankle bones colliding here. So that's about as far in as I'm going to be able to bring my feet. So keep your heels connected the whole time. Press out and in. Try to make sure you're getting all the way out to straight legs. And you don't let your heels come apart. Still try to land toe ball heel. Let your toes be the last thing to leave the board. And come in. So now, still keeping the turnout of your legs, but take your toes like towards the corners of the board. Make sure, again, your heels are down. So now the heels are apart, and we're going to jump like that. Try to come in as far as you can every time you land, still keeping your heels down. And land and come back in. Okay, so now we're going to alternate in our Pilates V. So we're going to go together, apart, together, apart. So here we go. Apart, together. Halfway there. Going to 20. And together and come all the way back in. Okay. So let's do a little bit of our single leg jumping. So go a little easy here and make sure that your knees feel okay with this. So let's just start parallel. And then we're not going to jump and turn out, so let's be just about a fist distance parallel. Bend one knee into your chest. Start with the carriage all the way in. Try to get your heel down. And then start with a light first jump here. That feels okay. Make sure you get all the way out to the straight leg. Let's do 10. And come all the way in, and we'll switch. Nine, 10, come all the way in. All right, so now let's do a little bit of alternating. So we'll alternate legs here. So bend your other knee back into your chest, press out, and switch. Let's go for 10 more. And come in all the way. And you are done. So hopefully you got a nice little warm up there, got your heart rate going, and your legs feel nice and warm and feel like they got a good workout. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any requests, anything that you'd like to see me do here, please also let me know. So subscribe for future videos, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.